Hi everybody, we are starting just now. Hello there. Hi. So, I'm sorry, as I said, we don't have any fixed times for our starting and recording, but we are getting there. You saw the yesterday's video or day before the previous videos, and I hope that I will be taking off my my headphone because I'll be getting a feedback then. Sorry, excuse me. Here we go. So, going through what I said yesterday, it must have been confusing. You must have been thinking, and you are thinking, that what is in this broadcast this guy is doing every day. He's so keen to call us to come and witness what he has to say. These are just ramblings of an old man. You're quite right in that also. But those ramblings of an old man also conveys that the old man has experience. He has gained a lot of knowledge, not just by leading his life, passing his time, but no, he was always in. I'm sorry, it's about me. I was always investigating. I didn't waste my time. I was very curious by nature. I never liked the human nature, the way humans acted, because I got a taste of it from the childhood when I used to see problems between my mother and father. The arguments, the my aunties and all taking father's side, all ganging up against my mother. Anyway, I'm not going into all those. That's the time I became curious. I don't know how old I may be that I still remember these things. Maybe 5 years, 4 years. But that also is a caution for those new parents. They think that 3-year-old, 4-year-old may not remember anything, but these are very lasting, lifelong imprints of what they face at that age. When they see quarrels, arguments, fighting amongst their parents, they do not know which side to turn to. They love both of you. What a torture it is for a small child. Excuse me, just 1 minute. This is a advertisement. I'm sorry, what can I do? For these people just come after you. Sorry, just let it go. Okay. These are those brokers who want to trap you for online trading. They don't know that I myself have been a broker for 3-4 years. I was trading with America. That's why I say, when I say I have experience, I have done a lot of things in my life. Ask me about that. Now, these are also human beings. They are looking for their livelihood. This is their way of baiting people. You understand what I'm trying to say? These calls do come. What can I do with them? If you start becoming angry to these people, they'll give your number to other people. And you cannot take a big diplomatic action through the government of UAE to the government of the country they are calling from, because on the number it is just written private number. They use internet calling. They have no courtesy, no manner. Again, where am I going? After all, they are human beings. Yesterday I had told you that human species These are the human species I was talking about. Let me make clear you. I may be confusing many people that why does this guy talk about human species while he himself is a human too? Yes, so are you. This is what I mean. We are a very typical type of species in the whole universe, I suppose. Even as I said, our animals here in this world behave well. They go according to their whatever they are meant to do, according to their uh, state of sorry, I cannot get the word for it. Let's leave that. So we are coming to the human species. I'll not take too much time today. I'll just create a scenario putting you in that place, and then we will take you from there and see how we evolve with that story. So you, dear watcher, you are watching me, okay? You are watching me, watching this telecast or broadcast or live stream. You are watching, and the topic is human nature. How does that affect you? You yourself are a human, as you said, okay? So as a human, let's start. This is morning of your in your country, in your city, in your place, in your house. You are waking up. Your routine is starting. Let's say it's Thursday today. Let's say it's Thursday there also. I mean, you are not on the border of the time zone. So Thursday morning, you are waking up and you are going through your routines: the toilet, the gargling, the brushing of your teeth, the shower, and the breakfast. If you are married, your wife is there. God willing that you all are together, your children are there, or maybe you are a single parent. Let's define your role. You are a male in a family where your wife, God willing, is alive with you, and your children are also about maybe 15, 18. I'm putting you in a difficult situation. If you have already gone through it, just bear with me and play the role again. And if you have not gone through it, be careful, beware that you are in for a hard time handling teenagers. Even I myself, who I think I know human nature, would just give up, become confused. I didn't know why these things were going on like that. Okay, so you are waking up, you are going to the office, you work as an accountant in a big firm. They are shipping company. I mean, not shipping company, they are shipping brokers. So they have a lot of shipping companies they deal with. They send cargoes to these shipping companies, and the cargo customers are their own. That's where you come in, you do the billing and all. Human nature, keep that in mind. We are starting now. You have finished your breakfast, you have ready to go, and I will also put you in a state where there is no car. You don't drive, you use a bus. I have not put any nationality on you. There is no country, no city. I have not mentioned anything like that. But you are in a country where it's not looked down to travel in a bus like in Dubai. Dubai is a very peculiar place. We will come and someday I will talk about that also. It's not good. It's not supposed to be good to be riding in buses. And if the worst thing is to ride a bicycle, then comes the little bit better is the motorcycle. But car, yes, you should be driving in a car, whether it takes you 2 hours to go through a traffic jam, morning, evening, but you have to drive a car. Alright. So, and then again the design, the different models of the cars, the different makes. Forget the four-wheelers and all. We are talking about as normal car. I ride a bus, so I'm putting you in a bussy situation, okay? So you have to catch a bus. and then from there on you have to get down at your stop and walk about 15 minutes, and the weather in your place wherever we are putting you is very pleasant all the time. It doesn't rain. It rains normal with in summer. It does rain, but then you are prepared for it. You have your raincoat and your umbrella and whatever things you have to carry. It's a modern, very well uh, established country, so you don't have water logging, and they have a lot of drains and everything. It's a neat and clean place. So you go and stand at the bus stop. Your role starts here. Here where we define human nature. Be very attentive, listen to what I'm saying. You are standing at the bus stop in a queue. There are about 7 people with you. 2 males, five females. The country you are in, it's very normal for ladies and gents to work, go and come, and it's like a Western country. Okay, I will not say which country. So you are standing there, and because you are regular in this routine, so are those 7 people. Sorry, 6 people. No, seven. Yes, okay, 7 people. So those 7 people know you and you know them. The normal formalities. Good morning. How are you? Is it going to rain, or is it the sun is very hot, or I forgot to have my coffee. I was late. I had to rush. And what are the plans today? So two of those, one lady, one gentleman, are your colleagues in your office. The rest are from different offices. But they, let's put, to make it simple, they also get down at the same stop you do, at the other end. Okay, so you're talking, smiling, and the normal grumblings and moods, and I'm not feeling well, and I have stomach ache, and I have this, and my 12-year-old, his birthday is coming up, and he's a boy and he's demanding a big train set which I cannot afford. So there are now knowing smiles and nodding of the heads. Up to here it is fine. The bus comes, and because you are regular, although there may be many buses on the same route, but most of the drivers now come to know you and your routine and your colleagues. So the highs and how are yous, everything is done. You go and take your seat, and suddenly you remember that the driver, his name is Mason. I will not say which nationality and all, because let's say this country also has expatriate workers, so the neighboring country, because of economic problems, do come and work for this country for the jobs. So this driver is from outside your country and he's there for this job. So you ask Mason, hey, yesterday you had mentioned that yesterday or day before yesterday that your wife was sick. How is she now? Oh, Mason's face gleams and he says, oh, your name is I didn't think of that. Let's say your name is Abel. Oh, Abel, thank you for remembering me and my wife, and that's very kind of you. She's fine. Yesterday we spoke, and she's quite okay now. She has been to the doctor, the medicine was given, and she is not the type of person to fall sick so easily. There is a virus going on in the area we live in. Even my children, they are coughing, and I think it's a flu which is going around. But for why my wife, when she gets sick, I get upset because she has to look after 5 children, prepare them, send them to school. So it's a burden. We don't have any other relatives staying with us. So you sympathize and you say, okay, Jason, thank God that she's okay, and give her my regards. And if any time, anything, just let me know. And I'm that's from my side, but I'm sure my colleagues will also agree. So they all nod and say, yeah, yeah, Jason, don't hesitate. So your bus time is about 10-15 minutes. There is these are the this in this place there are not that many traffic jams because the roads are well planned and people have different timings, different office. They they even schedule the offices in different timings, so everybody doesn't have to come at the same time and get off at the same time. So this 15 minutes again you are talking about the politics, what happened in your country, the elections coming up. Okay, that's fine, that's how things go. And the other bus passengers also are tipping in with their opinions and this. It seems that on this bus, most of the people know the other people. That's very good, that's very nice. You are in a very good place. You get down, the bus stop comes, three of you start walking to your office, one gentleman, one lady, you yourself, and the others they go towards their places of work. On the way, the gentleman who was your colleague had said that he had missed his coffee because he was in a hurry, goes to a small snack bar and takes a cup of coffee, take away coffee, and starts walking with you with that cup of coffee, sipping the coffee and talking. You reach your office, and as soon as you enter, the receptionist smiles and talks to both of you. The lady who works with you is in the human relations HR, and the gentleman is a salesperson. So he has to come to this office and start driving from there with the company car. The company car has to be parked in the office when they leave. They cannot take it home. So the gentleman there in the sales picks up his schedules and other appointments, consults the receptionist, who is also the telephone operator and administrator. So he says bye and he goes off because he has to finish a lot of calls. The HR lady goes to her office, starts looking at her schedule, the interviews she has to do. You as an accountant go to your office, look at your schedule, the the ins and outs, what is coming in, what has to be paid out, your banks, your reconciliations, and the checkbooks and the signature of to be taken from the boss. Your boss is a very, very peculiar guy. Here I'll make it a little bit interesting. You must be getting bored. This is what you do every day. So what? What is there in human nature which we should be aware of? Your boss is a very peculiar guy, and he acts very modern, very chummy, first name basis. But those who know him for about 4 or 5 years, this company is 5 years old. So those who are senior started, who are with the startup, know the boss, and they know you. They know that this is all just a put on job. The inside, this guy is a very, very proud type of guy. He thinks he's a moneyed guy, and we people are like, needy people who come and work for him. Otherwise, we would also be driving cars and going on vacations and inviting people for dinners, and he does that. He has money. Funny thing is, he has never mentioned, and nobody has ever thought it worthwhile. Why waste time to ask him how he came by his money? Maybe it was an inheritance, maybe it was a windfall, or maybe this guy is a thief. Whatever it is, he has the money, the company is his, and you are working for him. Why he is peculiar? Not only because he acts very down to earth guy, but he has this thing that he is very, very superior. But you people know how to handle him. As long, one word I should give here, one advice. Whatever the nature of the person you are dealing with, as long as you do your job well, as long as you do your reporting well, do your duties, complete your duty schedules, you don't have to worry about what that guy, what your boss is, what he will think, what he will do. You and the boss sat down when the hiring process was going on. You agreed to a salary, to your compensation, and if any increments which would be there, and you are there for 5 years. So whatever contract you had, the increments must have been given to you. You are not worried about that. You never bring up these topics that the salary is low and that the standard of living is going high and you need this, and maybe you're planning for your daughter's marriage and you will need a loan. These things you never talk to your boss. I'm not saying everybody, I'm talking about you, Abel. Because you as a financial guy are also an advisor, consultant. The boss consults you for all financial matters. So if you go and ask him, start griping that you are short of money, he will think, how are you managing your accounts if you cannot? Why did you agree to that salary in the first place? You did not know what the cost of living was. How would you advise this guy to manage his company? How much float he should keep, what amount you should keep as a fixed budget, and how many suppliers are going to be paid, how to manage the money in his company. So you never talk about your personal money matters with this guy especially. Now his peculiarity, he is a very pokey or nosy guy. Because he shows off that he's a friend, he's a colleague, he's a chummy guy, he will just walk in and start chatting with you. Oh, hi, hello Abel, what happened? Where did you go yesterday? Although you are busy with your calculations. You are a guy, I'll tell you your personality, you are a guy that as soon as you enter your office, you start your computer, you do your emails, you do your pay-ins and payouts, and you get ready and prepare tomorrow's payments and everything, and unless you do not finish your job or your routine, you do not have time for chit chat or funny things and just passing the time. You are very serious about your work. But you have to tolerate your boss. He is your boss. You give him a hint. You have given him hints many times that please we can talk. We keep a time after 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, that we can just socialize and talk plan for tomorrow, day after. Because it's not a very big brokerage, not a very big company, so they don't have early bird morning meetings discussing and all. Everybody goes direct to their desk. If they need anything, they just pop into the boss's office and ask or talk on the intercom. Sometimes, although everybody is present in the office, you don't even see each other. Not about you 3 people because you use the same bus and all, that's another story. And your colleagues are also your neighbors, so you do meet each other. But in the office there are other people working. There is the page boy cleaning the office, mail delivery and all that. Then you have 3 secretaries who are also telesales. They are calling, answering phones, and also sending emails, correspondence, creating invoices, pulling up files. So there are total 7 people. Sales only that gentleman who was there with you. He is the only person. So this boss is there. You again give him a hint that I'm sorry. I will not give a name to your boss because he's not in this story for very long. So you give a hint again and tell him, sir, could I talk after I finish this thing? I have to prepare these checks. Oh, this guy, your boss, becomes a little bit upset, and he makes a face. He shows that he was very humble and kind to come to you and just talk to you, and you are being rude to him. You just shrug your shoulders and say, I'll come to your office when I finish. Give me 1 hour at least, sir. Not sir, sorry, that was by habit I mentioned. You don't call your boss sir, you call him by his name in your office. That's the routine there. So he goes in a gruff, as if a small child, pouting and making a face, and as if he has been hurt. You do your work, finish your work. You are a very good tea drinker, and you go for another cup. It's a self-service office. Another cup, you nod to everybody again and smile and come back with your cup of tea, and you finish your work. Make your checks ready, make your details ready, your ledgers are updated. You go to your boss's office and his door is closed. Surprise. Mostly he usually keeps it open. So you knock. So that is a very, not very, gruff sort of voice says, yes, come in. You walk in and this guy is really going scarlet on his face and not being able to handle himself. He hasn't got what they call emotional IQ. He doesn't know how to behave, how to control himself. He is upset and he cannot take it out on you because you are on a very good big position in that company, and you are, what should I say, what's that word, excuse me, you are juggling his accounts. You know how to make it easy for him to get the payments ready when he needs them for himself, not for company routines. You know each and everything. You will not let him take out any money unless, because if any of your suppliers or payments have to be made, you are strict in that. He takes out his profits, his personal incomes and all, and always is consulting you for that. Sometimes he even consults you for property investments, and he has other incomes also. So he tells you that this is the total budget and I'm going to buy this, buy that. So you do some homework and due diligence, and then you tell him what to do. You give your advice, the rest is up to him. Anyway, this time he is upset and you apologize. You say, please, what I do is for you, for your company. If I could make a mistake, calculations are there. We are doing a tightrope. We don't have enough cash lying around. We have to really manage. Sometimes we are hand to mouth. Doesn't mean we are not doing well, but cash flow is sometimes a problem, because the system here in this country where you work is suppliers give you credit and your customers ask for credit. For example, any payment due from your customer, they will give you a post-dated check for 30 days, 45 days. So that's the balance you have to do. When the check is due and when your customers' checks are due and when your suppliers' checks are due. So you try to appease this gentleman, your boss, and tell him, please sir, if it was urgent, I would have come to your office. You should have called me. That was very nice of you to walk into me to my office, and you are very nice and you do it with everybody and everybody likes you for that. Because you are a team member, you are our team leader, you are not a boss. Again, you are thinking, he is making me do a role play. What has this got to do with human nature? This is the human nature, how to handle other people. I know that you talk to him nicely and all. Anybody can do that. Everybody will say, so what? So what are you trying to tell us? Listen, there are three things. First, let's start. Your discipline, that you walk into your office, you finish your work, and then you do any other talk when you have time free. And the same thing you have conveyed to your colleagues, to everybody, that this is the way I am. There are no misunderstandings about that. Even your boss, you had given so many hints that this is how I work. So please let me be free for my work. After that, I am with you. I'll even go out with you and see those properties which you have. But I have a job to do. That's why you had hired me. Let me finish my job. Otherwise, what happens? You will leave your job half finished. You'll go and do some other errand for your boss. And there, if you are late, then have the tension of unfinished job at your place. So you come back to your office, work late to finish that part. So why not take one thing at a time? Anyway, that's what you have conveyed in many ways, with your body language, personally, with talking to people, telling them exactly what you are and how you are. There is nothing hidden. You are an open person. You know what you are, and that's how you get your respect. Other people respect you. They know what are your limits and where you will stop. That's human nature. Conveying these messages. But every time you will not get people who understand, like your boss. He still does not understand human nature. Sometimes he is very, very he's sometimes very, very kind to his employees, like his receptionist or the salesperson will ask for some little bit more commission and jokingly bet with the boss, if I get that account you'll give me 2% more. These things, okay, as a joke, okay, but that is setting a signal for the newcomers that there will be other salespeople also maybe joining later on. You are setting a wrong precedent. And then the others, the office people, the secretaries, the office boy, these people also wonder that the business is the boss's. The customers come directly also. How does this salesperson keeps on getting that commission? Here I will mention that there are no bonuses. If the profits are shared, although you, Abel, had put this proposal 2-3 times to the boss and he had told you just to leave it on the back burner. Later on, there was no intention of giving bonuses. So whether you make good profit or what, the staff has no concern with that. They are not involved in it. So he sets a bad precedent of sometime giving. If your secretary says, oh, my child is sick and all, he shows too much generosity. He is not balanced. The routine would be, and you would agree, Abel, being an accountant, you would agree that if anybody is asking for an advance or help and all, he should send them to you. You are the financial controller. He should say, I am willing to do it, but you think what to do and how much to give. So the boss has given you the green signal that give if we can manage, give the things, give the amount to this person concerned. How to tell your boss the proper way of running a company? It's not your job, Abel. It brings me to a saying. I mean, it's for kids and all, that there were some mice and there were the cat. The cat in the house was really a nuisance for them, always jumping on them and making trouble for them all the time. So they formed a committee and they sat and decided that we have to put a bell in the tie a bell in the neck of the cow of the sorry of the cat. So when the cat is coming, we will know and we will jump up. We will jump out of the way. Done. The resolution was passed that we have to tie a bell in the cat's neck. Then the next question came: who is going to tie the bell in the cat's neck? Who will be that mice, that rat, whatever? Same way, who is going to take that blunt and dangerous mission of correcting your boss? He may also lose his job at that. Your boss, as I said, with his peculiar nature, also doesn't forgive very fast. Keeps slights. He doesn't forget them. He remembers them, and he's very revengeful. All right, I think I'll take my leave. I'll end this story here, and now you can understand where I am leading with this human nature. Once you understand, you will know how to handle each and everything. And by the way, Abel, although it was a role play, you are doing fine. You did very well with your colleagues, with handling the Jason, the driver, and I'm sure you're good with your family and your children and your wife. So, all the best. And dear viewers, all the best. We'll come on again tomorrow. Thank you. Blessings.